Hey everyone, I hope I'm doing this right as I'm new to Reddit. I have some spooky experiences I want to share, and this is one of the creepiest ones. My family and I have had encounters with the paranormal for as long as I can remember. My parents used to live in a haunted apartment before we moved into my childhood home, where I lived until I was 19. My mom always thought a spirit followed us from the apartment, causing electrical disturbances, knocking, banging, and other weird stuff. We weren't sure if it was the apartment spirit or my great-grandfather, who died tragically before my parents moved into our new house. For the first 8 years of my life, we experienced a lot of paranormal activity until my mom called a priest. The priest never answered, but strangely, all the ghostly stuff stopped right after that. When my grandmother died when I was 12, the house became super active again. This lasted until her funeral and then stopped completely. A couple of years later, my friends and I burned a Ouija board in the fireplace, and that caused some creepy stuff to happen too. But this story isn't about those events, it's about a particularly eerie experience I had. I was either 16 or 17, sitting in my room watching YouTube on my Xbox. Suddenly, I heard 3 evenly spaced knocks on my door. It wasn't unusual since I'd asked my parents to knock before coming in my room. I yelled what, thinking it was my mom, the only other person in the house besides my dog, Coco. When she didn't answer, I got up to see what she wanted. As I approached the door, I felt this intense sense of dread. Every hair on my body stood up. I felt like something was behind the door, and I was terrified. I tried to shake off the feeling, thinking I was just paranoid. I opened the door quickly, like ripping off a band-aid. No one was there. I immediately went to the living room, where I found my mom folding laundry on the couch, just 15 feet away from my room. I asked her what she wanted, and she looked confused, saying she didn't want anything. When I asked why she knocked on my door, she said she was about to ask me the same thing. We were both freaked out and decided to see if we could recreate the knocking sound to figure out where it came from. I stood in my room while she knocked on all the other doors in the house. But I knew this was pointless because I had lived there long enough to know the difference between someone knocking on my door and on the front door. A few days later, I was in my room again, maybe playing a game, when I heard the knocks again around 5 p.m. Exactly 3 evenly spaced knocks. I felt that same sense of dread. I rushed out of my room into the living room, where my brother and his girlfriend were sitting. They were both visibly shaken. I had told them about the knocks a few days earlier, and they had been skeptical. Now they were freaked out, especially my brother's girlfriend, who had never experienced anything like this before. That was the last time it happened. I'm 22 now, and I've never experienced anything like that since. This incident, along with others, changed me from an atheist to an agnostic. I can't be sure there's nothing else out there now. I hope to have more experiences in the future to confirm that there is something beyond death. I'll keep sharing my stories here. Let me know what you think, especially about the knocks. They've been heavy on my mind since it happened, and I'd love to know if it means anything. Thanks for listening and reading.